Are you eating what you believe are healthy foods, but still struggling with low energy, stubborn fat, or even worrying about long-term diseases like cancer? Because here's the truth most people are never taught. Food doesn't just give you calories. Food gives your body instructions. And depending on what you eat daily, you are either activating healing pathways or silently feeding disease. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Your body has built-in defense systems, powerful biological networks designed to burn fat efficiently, repair damaged cells, control inflammation, and even suppress the growth of abnormal or cancerous cells. But these systems don't just run automatically at full strength. They are directly influenced by what you eat every single day. Now here's where it gets interesting. Certain foods don't just support health in a general sense. They actively starve harmful cells, improve metabolic function, regulate insulin and hormones, and enhance your body's natural ability to heal. This is a concept often explored in the work of Dr. William Li, where food is not just nutrition, it's biological control. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of your body like a city. You have systems that build and repair, construction, defend against threats, immune system, manage energy, metabolism. Now imagine if the wrong foods are constantly entering that city. Instead of supporting these systems, they overload them. They create traffic, damage infrastructure, and weaken defenses. But when you introduce the right foods, you're not just eating better. You're giving your body the tools to clear out damage, restore balance, and function at a higher level. And this is exactly what we're going to break down today. Not vague advice, not trendy diets, but 6 specific science-backed food strategies that can help your body burn fat more efficiently, reduce inflammation at the cellular level, support immune defense mechanisms, and create an internal environment where disease struggles to survive. And the best part? These are practical, everyday foods, not extreme protocols. If this is helpful so far, consider subscribing. I post content like this every day to help you understand your body and take control of your health using real science. Now let's start by looking at the 6 powerful food hacks we'll break down step by step. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Your body constantly forms tiny blood vessels, a process called angiogenesis. This is completely normal. It helps heal wounds, deliver oxygen, support tissue repair. But here's the critical insight. When angiogenesis becomes unbalanced, it can actually support the growth of harmful cells, including tumors. Because just like healthy tissues, abnormal cells also need a blood supply to grow. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of blood vessels like highways. Healthy cells use these highways to receive nutrients and oxygen. But harmful cells, including cancer cells, try to build their own highways to expand and survive. Now here's where food becomes powerful. Certain foods contain natural compounds that help regulate this process. Not by shutting it down completely, but by preventing excessive abnormal blood vessel growth. This is known as anti-angiogenesis, and it's one of the key mechanisms highlighted in the work of Dr. William Li. What the research shows is that foods rich in polyphenols and bioactive compounds can help your body, inhibit abnormal vessel formation, support immune detection of damaged cells, reduce the environment that allows harmful cells to thrive. Now let's make this practical. Here are some of the most powerful anti-angiogenic foods you can start using immediately. Green tea, rich in catechins like EGCG. Berries, especially blueberries and strawberries. Turmeric contains curcumin. Tomatoes, rich in lycopene. Garlic and onions, sulfur compounds. Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli. These are not exotic. They are accessible and incredibly effective when used consistently. Now here's the key mistake most people make. They think one superfood will fix everything, but that's not how this works. The real power comes from consistency and combination. Think of it like layering protection. Each of these foods contributes small regulatory effects, but together they create a powerful internal environment that supports balance. Now, how do you apply this daily? Simple protocol. Each say can start your day with green tea instead of sugary drinks. Add berries to your breakfast or snacks. Include at least 1 cruciferous vegetable daily. Use turmeric in cooking with black pepper for absorption. Add garlic or onions to meals regularly. This isn't about perfection. It's about frequency, because your body responds to what you do repeatedly, not occasionally. Here's the takeaway. You're not trying to fight disease aggressively. You're creating an environment where abnormal cells struggle to grow in the first place. You're supporting your body's natural defense systems. And that's a completely different strategy. If this is making sense so far, consider subscribing. because in the next section, we're going to explore how your gut plays a central role in healing, fat loss, and even immune defense. Now let's shift to something that quietly controls almost everything we've discussed so far, your gut. Because when it comes to healing the body, regulating weight, and even protecting against disease, your gut is not just involved, it's central. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Inside your digestive system lives a complex ecosystem of trillions of bacteria known as your gut microbiome. These microbes are not just passive, they actively influence your immune system, your metabolism, your inflammation levels, and even how your body stores fat. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of your gut like a garden. The bacteria are the plants. Now imagine two scenarios. In one garden, you have diverse, healthy plants growing in balance. In the other, weeds have taken over. Same soil, completely different outcomes. That's exactly what happens in your gut. When you feed the wrong foods, especially sugar and processed foods, harmful bacteria grow stronger. This leads to increased inflammation, poor digestion, one disrupted metabolism, and even increased fat storage. But when you feed the right foods, you restore balance. Now here's the key mechanism most people don't realize. Your gut directly communicates with your immune system. In fact, a large portion of your immune activity is regulated through the gut lining. When the gut is inflamed or imbalanced, your immune system becomes dysregulated, and that affects everything, including your body's ability to detect and respond to abnormal cells. What the research shows is that a healthy microbiome is associated with their better metabolic control, reduced inflammation, improved insulin sensitivity, stronger immune defense. Now let's make this practical. If you want to heal your gut, you need to focus on fiber and diversity, because fiber is not just for digestion, it's food for your gut bacteria. When bacteria ferment fiber, they produce compounds called short-chain fatty acids, especially butyrate. And these compounds reduce inflammation, strengthen the gut lining, improve insulin sensitivity, support metabolic health. So what should you actually eat? Here's a simple protocol. First, increase fiber-rich whole foods, vegetables, especially leafy greens, lentils and beans, oats, seeds like chia and flax. Second, add fermented foods, yogurt, unsweetened, kefir, sauerkraut. These introduce beneficial bacteria directly. Third, diversify your diet. Different bacteria thrive on different fibers, so variety matters more than perfection. Aim for 20-30 different plant foods per week if possible. Fourth, reduce gut disruptors, excess sugar, ultra-processed foods, artificial additives, because they feed harmful bacteria and damage gut balance. Here's the key takeaway. Your gut is not just about digestion. It's a control center for immunity, fat storage, inflammation, and overall health. When you fix your gut, you're not treating symptoms, you're addressing a root cause. And when the gut improves, everything else becomes easier. In the next section, we're going to shift into energy and fat metabolism, and how specific types of fats can actually help your body burn fat more efficiently instead of storing it. Now let's address one of the most misunderstood topics in nutrition, fat. Because for years, people were told, eat less fat to lose fat. But here's what's really going on inside your body. Not all fats are the same. And the right types of fats can actually help your body burn fat more efficiently, stabilize energy, and regulate hormones. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of your body like a hybrid engine. It can run on two main fuel sources, sugar, glucose, fat. But when your diet is high in sugar and refined carbs, your body becomes dependent on glucose. It loses flexibility. So every time blood sugar drops, you feel hungry, tired, and crave more carbs. But when you introduce healthy fats and reduce sugar, your body relearns how to use fat as fuel. This is called metabolic flexibility. And this is where real transformation begins. What the research shows is that diets including healthy fats can improve insulin sensitivity, reduce hunger hormones, increase satiety, support stable energy levels, enhance fat oxidation. Now here's the key point. We're not talking about all fats. We're talking about high-quality anti-inflammatory fats. These include extra virgin olive oil, avocados, nuts, almonds, walnuts, seeds, chia, flax, fatty fish, rich in omega-3s. These fats do something very important. They slow down digestion and reduce blood sugar spikes, which means lower insulin, less fat storage, more consistent energy. Now let's make this practical. If you want to use fats strategically for fat burning and healing, here's how. First, start your day with balanced fat intake. Instead of a high-carb breakfast, try eggs with avocado. Yeah, yogurt with nuts and seeds. This sets your metabolism into a stable state for the day. Second, add healthy fats to every meal. Even small amounts make a difference. For example, drizzle olive oil on vegetables. Add nuts to salads. Include fatty fish a few times per week. Third, avoid damaged fats. This is critical. Highly processed vegetable oils and fried foods can increase inflammation and disrupt metabolism. Focus on whole, minimally processed fat sources. Fourth, combine fats with protein. This combination improves satiety and reduces cravings significantly. Now here's an important transition your body goes through. When you begin increasing healthy fats and reducing sugar, there may be a short adjustment period, but once your body adapts, you'll notice longer lasting energy, fewer cravings, improved mental clarity, and most importantly, your body becomes capable of accessing stored fat, not just relying on incoming food. If this is helping you understand how to actually use food as a tool, consider subscribing. I share content like this daily to help you fix metabolism at the root level. Here's the takeaway. Fat is not the problem. Dysregulated metabolism is the problem. And healthy fats are one of the tools that help restore that balance. In the next section, we're going to connect this directly to insulin and how choosing the right carbohydrates can determine whether your body stores fat or burns it. Now let's connect everything we've discussed to one of the most important metabolic drivers in your body, insulin, because whether your body burns fat or stores it largely depends on this one hormone. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Every time you eat carbohydrates, they break down into glucose and enter your bloodstream. In response, your body releases insulin, a hormone whose primary job is to move glucose into your cells, store excess energy, and regulate blood sugar levels. That's normal. But the problem is not insulin itself. The problem is how often and how much it's being triggered. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of insulin as a storage signal. When insulin is high, your body stores energy, and the fat burning slows down. When insulin is low, your body releases stored energy, fat burning increases. Now here's the issue with modern diets. Highly refined carbohydrates like white bread, sugar, pastries, and processed foods cause rapid spikes in blood sugar, and that leads to large insulin surges. Over time, this creates increased fat storage, energy crashes, stronger cravings, and eventually insulin resistance. What the research shows is that repeated blood sugar spikes are directly linked to weight gain, metabolic dysfunction, not chronic inflammation, and increased disease risk. But here's the powerful shift. You don't need to eliminate carbohydrates. You need to choose the right type. This is where low glycemic carbohydrates come in. These are foods that digest slowly, release glucose gradually, trigger a controlled insulin response, which keeps your metabolism stable. Examples include whole fruits like apples, berries, vegetables, especially non-starchy, legumes, lentils, chickpeas, whole grains like oats, quinoa. Now let's make this practical. If you want to control insulin effectively, here's a simple strategy. First, pair carbs with protein and fat. This slows down glucose absorption and prevents spikes. For example, Wurst plus chicken or vegetables, fruit plus nuts. Second, avoid isolated refined carbs. Eating carbs alone, especially processed ones, leads to rapid spikes. Third, time your carbohydrate intake. Your body handles carbs better earlier in the day or around physical activity. Fourth, focus on fiber-rich carbs. Fiber acts as a natural buffer, slowing digestion and stabilizing blood sugar. Fifth, be aware of liquid carbohydrates. Sugary drinks and juices spike blood sugar faster than solid food. Here's the key takeaway. Carbohydrates are not the enemy. Uncontrolled insulin is. And when you choose the right carbohydrates, you don't just stabilize blood sugar. You create the conditions for the fat burning, sustained energy, and long-term metabolic health, because your body is no longer stuck in storage mode. In the next section, we're going to go deeper into inflammation and how specific foods can actively reduce cellular damage and support long-term healing. If this is helping you, stay with me, because the next piece connects directly to aging and disease prevention. Now let's go deeper into something that connects fat gain, fatigue, aging, and disease, chronic inflammation, because this is one of the most overlooked root causes in modern health. And what you eat every day either fuels inflammation or reduces it. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Inflammation is not always bad. In fact, it's a natural defense mechanism. It helps your body heal injuries, fight infections, repair damaged tissues. But the problem begins when inflammation becomes chronic. Low-grade, constant, silent. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of inflammation like fire. A controlled fire can be useful. It provides heat and protection. But a fire that never turns off slowly damages everything around it. That's what chronic inflammation does inside your body. And one of the biggest drivers of this? Diet. What the research shows is that diets high in sugar or refined carbohydrates, processed oils, ultra-processed foods, increase inflammatory markers in the body, and over time, this contributes to an insulin resistance, a fat storage, hormonal imbalance, accelerated aging, and increased risk of chronic diseases. Now here's the shift. Certain foods contain powerful compounds that actively reduce inflammation at the cellular level. These include omega-3 fatty acids, darsh polyphenols, antioxidants, phytochemicals. And these compounds work by reducing oxidative stress, supporting cellular repair, and improving immune balance, for protecting DNA from damage. Now let's make this practical. If you want to reduce inflammation effectively, here's what to do. First, include anti-inflammatory fats, such as fatty fish like salmon, sardines, walnuts, flax seeds. These provide omega-3 fatty acids that counterbalance inflammatory signals. Second, use spices strategically, especially turmeric, curcumin, ginger. These have well-documented anti-inflammatory effects. Third, increase colorful plant foods. Different colors mean different antioxidants. Think berries, leafy greens, peppers. Fourth, reduce inflammatory triggers. This includes sugar, refined oils, processed foods. Fifth, support recovery through sleep, because poor sleep increases inflammatory markers significantly. Now here's something important. Inflammation doesn't just affect how you feel. It affects how you age. It impacts skin quality, joint health, or brain function, so cellular longevity. So when you reduce inflammation, you're not just improving today, you're protecting your future. If this is adding value, consider subscribing. I share daily content focused on helping you reduce inflammation and optimize your health naturally. Here's the key takeaway. Healing is not about one single food. It's about creating an internal environment where damage is minimized and repair is supported. And food is one of the most powerful tools you have to do that. In the next and final core section, we're going to bring everything together through protein, timing, and nutrient density, and how to structure your meals for maximum healing, fat burning, and metabolic balance. Now let's bring everything together. Because even if you choose the right foods, when and how you eat them determines how your body responds. And this is where most people miss a major opportunity. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Your body is constantly in two states. Breakdown, catabolism, where energy is used. Repair, anabolism, where tissues are rebuilt. And protein plays a central role in this balance. Not just for muscle, but for hormones, enzymes, immune function, cellular repair. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of protein as the building material your body uses daily. Now imagine trying to repair a house. Without enough bricks, even if everything else is working, the repair slows down. That's exactly what happens when protein intake is low or poorly timed. Now here's the key insight. It's not just how much protein you eat, it's when you eat it. What the research shows is that distributing protein throughout the day can improve muscle protein synthesis, stabilize blood sugar, reduce cravings, support metabolic rate. Now let's make this practical. If you want to optimize healing, fat burning, and hormonal balance, here's a simple structure. First, start your day with protein. This is one of the most powerful habits. Because it reduces cravings later in the day, stabilizes energy, and also supports dopamine and focus. Examples, eggs, Greek yogurt, unsweetened, protein-rich smoothies. Second, include protein in every meal. Aim for balance. Protein plus healthy fat plus fiber. This combination keeps insulin stable and promotes satiety. Third, don't rely on low-quality processed protein. Whole food sources are better. Fish,
chicken,
lentils, eggs. Fourth, focus on nutrient density, not just calories. Because your body doesn't just need energy, it needs micronutrients. Vitamins and minerals support metabolism, immune defense, hormone production. So include leafy greens, seeds, whole foods with high nutrient value. Fifth, respect meal timing and recovery windows. Avoid constant snacking. Give your body time between meals to lower insulin, activate fat burning, initiate cellular repair processes. Even a simple 12-hour overnight fast can support this. Now here's the key transformation. When you combine anti-angiogenic foods, gut-supporting fiber, healthy fats, controlled carbohydrates, anti-inflammatory nutrition, iron, proper protein timing, you create a system where your body can burn fat efficiently, repair itself consistently, regulate hormones naturally, and defend against internal damage. Here's the key takeaway. It's not one food. It's the structure and rhythm of how you eat. And when that structure is aligned with your biology, your body begins to function the way it was designed to. Now, before you apply everything we've discussed, let's correct a few critical mistakes that silently block progress. Because many people think they're eating healthy, but they're still feeding dysfunction. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Small daily habits, repeated consistently, can override even the best intentions. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine trying to clean a room, but every hour someone comes in and throws more dirt on the floor. That's what these mistakes do metabolically. They keep reintroducing the very stress your body is trying to remove. Mistake number 1, hidden sugars. Even foods labeled healthy often contain added sugars, and syrups, refined carbs. These spike insulin and feed inflammation. Mistake number 2, liquid calories. Juices, sodas, and sweetened drinks hit your bloodstream rapidly. They bypass natural satiety signals and overload your liver. Mistake number 3, constant snacking. Every time you eat, insulin rises. Frequent eating keeps your body in storage mode. Mistake number 4, low protein intake. This leads to increased cravings, the poor muscle maintenance, slower metabolism. Mistake number 5, lack of sleep. Poor sleep disrupts hunger hormones, insulin sensitivity, stress regulation. Here's the key takeaway. You don't just need to add the right foods. You need to remove the interference. Because healing happens when the body is no longer overwhelmed. Now let's make everything practical. Because knowledge only matters when it becomes action. Here's a simple daily structure you can follow. Morning. Start with water plus optional lemon. Or have a protein-rich breakfast. Add polyphenols like green tea or berries. This stabilizes blood sugar and supports metabolism early. Midday. Balanced meal, protein plus fiber, plus healthy fat. Include vegetables and whole foods. It'd take a short walk after eating. This improves insulin response and digestion. Afternoon. Stay hydrated. Avoid sugary snacks. If needed, choose nuts, yogurt, or fruit with protein. Evening. Light balanced dinner. Avoid heavy sugar intake late at night. Stop eating 2 to 3 hours before sleep. Night. Prioritize sleep. Reduce screen exposure. Allow your body to enter repair mode. Here's what's really happening. You're creating rhythm, and your body thrives on rhythm. When your eating, sleep, and activity patterns align, hormones stabilize. Energy improves. Fat burning becomes easier. Now we'll bring everything together. So let's step back and look at what you've just learned. Because this is bigger than just healthy eating. This is about understanding how to use food as a biological tool. Here's what we uncovered. You're not just feeding your body, you're sending signals that control how it functions. When you apply these 6 food strategies, you begin to regulate angiogenesis, helping your body control abnormal cell growth. You heal your gut, which strengthens immunity and improves metabolic balance. You use healthy fats to switch your body from sugar burning to fat burning. You control insulin through smarter carbohydrates, preventing fat storage and energy crashes. You reduce chronic inflammation, protecting your cells and slowing aging. And you optimize protein timing and nutrient density, giving your body the raw materials it needs to repair and thrive. Now here's the most important takeaway. None of this works through extremes. It works through consistency, because your body is always adapting to what you do daily, not occasionally. So the question becomes, what signals are you sending your body every single day? Are you feeding pathways that support healing or pathways that support dysfunction? And the powerful part is this. You don't need to change everything overnight. You just need to start. So here's a simple challenge for you. Pick one strategy from this video, just one. Maybe it's adding berries and green tea daily, increasing fiber and gut-friendly foods, shift price, starting your day with protein instead of sugar. Then do it consistently for the next 7 days. And observe. Watch your energy, hunger, your focus, or mood, because your body will respond. And that response becomes your motivation. Because when you start to feel better, you naturally want to continue. That's how real transformation happens. Not through force, but through alignment. If this added value to your day, like the video and subscribe. Because this channel is about helping you understand your body at a deeper level, so you can take control of your health naturally, intelligently, and sustainably. And remember, your body is not broken. It's responding exactly to the signals you give it. Change the signals. and you change the outcome. Start today.